I mentioned in the first slide, and I work with a lot of different government in the region, and this model really worked really well. And truly, you want to really get the traction and the momentum. It's very important not only have a government participation, it's very important to attract the world-class leader globally and also locally to work together and then to create some of the biggest industry IT transformation. I still remember in Taiwan, my first venture, Minister K.T. Lee is a father of technology. He invited me to come to Taiwan to build a small, medium-sized technology company. And before he passed away, I showed him my report card, how many small, medium-sized IT company that I helped build in Taiwan. And so this is something that I enjoy doing. I'm delighted able to be involved in the India IT development. This is an exciting new frontier. Let me share with you why I'm so excited about semiconductor. One thing that I always pay attention is looking for trend, and mega trend is happening. And then just like, if you do surfing, you want to make sure that there's a wave coming up, then you can ride with it, and you can really build some really great industry technology company. So this, I just highlight a few key trends. Clearly, the apps is everywhere, and the 700 plus app from iOS, Apple, and also the Google Android. And so clearly, it's going to continue driving a lot of applications, and that really drive a lot of semiconductor requirement in terms of performance, parallelism, and also the power. Power saving is critical. So I think this is exciting. It really drives a lot of semiconductor innovation. Same thing with video. Video is huge and going to be exciting. And then mobility, and then cloud and security. Let me just dive in a field that I am very passionate about. So first of all is mobility. Mobility is everywhere. In terms of the traffic, in terms of the mobile internet, and most of my venture friends, they are all backing on this mobile internet. Is a big driver and a huge demand. And so this is exciting. You can see the traffic is growing like crazy, and a lot of application happening. And then I just want to do a survey here. How many have 4 mobile devices you carry? Not too many. 3. Okay, there's a few more hands now. 2. And you got to have 1, right? I carry 4. And I have 2 BlackBerry right here, so always connected. And I have my iPhone, and then my iPad. And so clearly, you're going to see, 25% is very doable in 2016, and people carry more than 2. And so I set the trend. I carry 4. Plus, there's another phone I carry. It's a Samsung phone that in China because of China character. So it's just so convenient that you want to be connected all the time. And it's not just phone. It's really a lot of killer app that you want to be able to access in a nanosecond. Cloud, this is just a beginning. And a lot of my friends are investing heavily in the software as service and then the cloud offering. And we're talking about social media, like the Weibo and Tencent. They are building up tremendous data center and cloud to support the social media. And then, of course, our friend at Amazon and the Apple is building up the cloud for Internet of Things, for mobile, for social networking. So there's a lot of opportunity in cloud. And also in the semiconductor side, there's a tremendous parallelism, mesh network. And I know Graham going to talk a lot about the mobile and the cloud. And ARM is really well positioned for doing that. We are really excited. ARM is driving some of the changes. And then just a little bit indication, I mentioned earlier, Facebook is about 1 billion registered user. And then the Weibo and Sina is about 450 million. And then started only about less than 2 years ago. It's a phenomenal growth in the whole cloud environment. One of the things that I always do is to look at the trend and then focus on the key trend for investment. And for example, I strongly believe in video. So I back a series of companies from the image sensor like Galaxy Core in China, Aptina in US as part of the spin-off I did with the Micron, and then the Umbrella doing the video compression, and then the whole end product called GoPro. If you do sports, you have a camera on your helmet, it's growing like crazy. I mean, very quickly already have 4.5 million Facebook fans, and then this year will ship almost 4.5 million units, and I'm invested in all of them, so really build up the whole change of addressing the video. Same thing with broadband. I invest earlier day in Centillium, in the ADSL, and then Centillium have Bangalore operation doing quite well. Then I invest into Pasave, and then Iconis in the ADSL, and then the VDSL, and then the EPON, and then the latest thing, the BSIM, also have the local Bangalore operations, and then eventually I sold it to Broadcom, and addressing the WiMAX, eventually LTE, and Babu, the CEO is the fabulous guy, I back him. And then Envert, right now, the same team building up the next generation smart meter. Smart meter is huge right now in terms of high-speed bi-direction using the Wi-Fi to drive that. And I helped start this company as one of the co-founders. And so it's exciting that you really pick the area of broadband and across all the different applications, and it's just consistently building it. Same thing with a location. So I back Surf, then I back Centrality, and now a little bit more functionality integrated. Eventually, I sold it to Surf, and about 300 plus million. And then AutoNavi, building to the software stack, is very critical for China. One thing is every major wave, you can create a lot of big TAM market. And so clearly you can see a 10x, 10 billion units. That's a huge platform for mobile. And then same thing for cloud and others. So you just have to pick from PC to desktop, and then the mobile internet, and then the Internet of Things, and then go beyond that. So you just have to identify the trend, and then follow your investment thesis, and then go after that, get the best engineer that you can find, and back them. And then that's kind of my approach to do things. Somehow it's stuck. Okay, here you go. So semiconductor, I mentioned earlier, is on the heart of a lot of SoC and device. All the gadget that you talk about, you're using it, either it's iPhone or tablets, or even the automotive infotainment. And if you really look hard into it, it's all the semiconductor component, from sensor to processor, microcontroller. And so that's something that excites me, and it's fundamental, and it's critical. And then guess what? In the last few years, venture capitalists invest in semiconductor down 79%. And that is bad. That means that there's a lot of innovation is not happening. And so I want to reverse that trend. And that's why everywhere I go, I invest in semiconductor. I let my friends making investment in social media. Too many money chasing social media. And then really I try to build the core heart of the semiconductor. And I did a survey in terms of the semiconductor company that, and also the leading system company, they're sitting with $400 billion cash. And then every CEO I talk to them, they are worried 5 years from now, there's no company to buy. And so if you're an entrepreneur, this is the best place to start a semiconductor fabless company. And exit is not an issue. There's going to be a lot of people want to buy your company. And also you can go public. So this is very exciting for me, and that's why I triple down on it, and I hope you join me on that. One big trend I see happening is a system company decided to go application design approach, and also more system vertically integrate. And I still remember when I took over being a CEO of Cadence, system company consists of less than 5% of my revenue. Today, it's more than double digit, and it's really exciting. See that fast growing. Clearly Apple started that trend. You will be surprised, they have more than 1,000 IC designers, and they're hiring like crazy. Same thing with Google, same thing with Oracle, same thing with Microsoft, and then same thing Amazon going to start. And so clearly they go vertical, and so it's very important to follow the trend where the system guy is going. And then it's a whole chain effect to semiconductor, to the IP, the tool. And so this is something that's very exciting. So this whole application-driven design is really address time to market. So it used to be, you can have 9 months to design, and now you need to be much faster than that. So shorten the design period, and that means that you cannot just serially, one step, after that you move to the next step. You really need to be vertically collaborating is critical. The foundry partners, IP partners, EDA, and then the end user and the software developer need to work together in the very trusted partnership. And that's a key. And that's what Cadence is, when I came on board, I reaching out to all these players, to ARM, to Global Foundry, TSMC, and clearly reaching out to each one of them, even the software developer. I had to reach out to Andy Rubin at Android, because whatever I do is really impacting them. So we had to work closely together, and this is something that is important. So not just the tool, the next level is SoC, the IP. IP reuse become very common, and so you really have to build a very strong IP able to continue to run that time to market. And also the system level, hardware, software, code design, code verification, so that you can shorten that time period, is become very critical.